So you clicked on this video because you're trying to learn how to profit from online casino bonuses and promotions. So if you're new to my channel, I have a challenge I'm running where I'm trying to gamble up to $1 million, and I claim bonuses from casinos to add free money to my account. So in the challenge, what I do is I track every single day and I show proof of me claiming these bonuses. Just to prove that this works, I want to show you this now. Basically, I use 4 apps, and I'll tell you what these apps are later in this video. But this is me tracking these bonuses that I claim for 30 days. And I started off, this is day 1, and the whole way up to 30 days here, I had a total of $250 claimed in 30 days. So if you'd like to learn how I do this, I'm going to show you my strategy on how I get these casino bonuses to end up being profit in my bank account. So there's a ton of different apps and casinos out there that have online options in different areas, but I will tell you the 4 that I use, and I think they're the best ones, and I'll explain why at the very end of the video. So stay tuned for the ones I suggest. There's 6 types of bonuses that online casinos offer, different promotions and offers that they have. I'm going to walk through these throughout this entire video, and I'm going to go through and talk about the pros and cons of each one and how they work. I'm going to rank these from what I think are the best bonuses to the worst bonuses, and I'll explain why as I go through them. I do want to mention that the casino apps and online casinos that I'm talking about in this video are specifically region-based in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. I'm sure there's other casinos out there that have online apps in different areas around the world, but I just want to clarify that currently these are where the specific apps that I'm talking about are located. So let's be clear, the purpose of casino bonuses on these online apps are for a few reasons. Really, they're just trying to attract new players. They're trying to reward or retain existing players. You got to think casinos are a business, right? They're in the business of making money. You know, nothing's free. They're obviously offering these bonuses, hoping that you end up playing the bonus and then ultimately losing that and then depositing your own money, and they're going to make money off you in the long run. That's what their end goal is. I'm sure they have a ton of analysts, statisticians, actuarials. You know, they have people crunching numbers that are basically telling these casinos what they should be offering and what they're going to profit off of it, right? They're obviously offering these casino bonuses as a way to make money on their end. So keep that in mind. You're the customer, they're the business. They're trying to make money off you. So this whole strategy is how to be in that 1% on how to have an edge on the casino and keep these bonuses. And I'm going to show you my methods of doing so. So the first type and the easiest type, and I think the best type of casino bonus that you can get is a sign-up bonus. The sign-up bonus is usually just free funds or free spins offered to you. It's sometimes even a large deposit match. These are the best types. They're usually the biggest bang for your buck because they're trying to get you on their casino compared to other casinos as a customer. So they're trying to get you hooked in. They're trying to give you a really big offer that sounds really good, right? Now, there's a couple things you got to watch out for on these ones, though, as with any offer. But you want to look at the wagering requirements, the order of the funds used, and the withdrawal requirements. So this first one here that I'm showing, this is the best type of sign-up bonus you can get. This one's basically saying you get a first deposit bonus of up to 100% match, and that's up to $250. And it's a one-times playthrough. So basically, you put in $250, they're going to match you $250, and then you just got to play through that bonus one times, and it's yours. It's that simple. Now, you do have to look down there. It does say like it's excluding roulette, craps, baccarat, live dealer table games. That's another thing I'll talk about later on too, the things to watch out for. But this is just a quick example of some sign-up bonuses. This next one here is a bad sign up bonus in my opinion. It's basically saying that they offer a 100% deposit match up to $1,000, which sounds way better than the last one, right? Last one's only $250. But if you read the terms and conditions, you can see that second to last bullet point. It says you must play through your deposit and the bonus 10 times before the bonus money is converted to cash. So you think you're getting $1,000 in cash right away, right, for that bonus. Well, you're not. You have to play through your 1,000 and the bonus of 1,000, which is $2,000 to play through both of that 10 times. So that's $20,000 of wagering just to keep that $1,000 bonus. So you're risking 20 grand to win 1 grand. That's very not likely. That's not likely to happen at all. So that's not a good sign-up bonus. But some sign-up bonuses are worth it. So you just got to be careful which ones you're signing up with and what the actual offer is. So not just for sign-up bonuses, but for any type of promo or bonus, you have to look at the terms and conditions. One little rule or line in that whole terms and conditions can change the whole concept of the bonus, right? You think you're getting a good deal, but one line can change everything. So you have to read through the terms and conditions every single time. And it can be tedious because those can be very long, but you got to know what you're getting into. You have to know what the playthrough or the wagering requirement is for any bonus. You have to look at the order of funds being used. Sometimes the bonus funds are used first. Sometimes your money's used first. And you don't want to risk your own money if you're trying to keep the bonus funds. So, that's a bad deal. You got to look out for what's a good deal, what's a bad deal. Look at the eligible games and the excluded games. Like we just saw there, not all offers let you play certain games. They're only designed for you to play certain games. Usually they're slots. Slots are very common because slots have a lower return to player than other games, so you have a higher chance of losing your money. So you got to be careful on what games are actually allowed, or you could be playing the wrong games and maybe it doesn't even count for your wagering requirement. And also look at what you're able to withdraw. There's certain requirements if you're able to withdraw the funds at all to your bank account or not. So the next one we have is daily free spins. Basically, these are designed to get you to log on to their app every single day to get a potentially free reward. Now, if you do win, which they're very rare to win on, but if you do win, they're usually really small payouts, but you got to think they're totally risk-free. You're just logging on, you're spinning the wheel to see if you win something. So you're not risking any money. So it's a good bonus to play because you're not actually risking your own money at all. There's very low chances of winning these. And then you typically have to wager any sort of winnings that you do get. So if you win 50 cents or you get some bonus spins, you're going to have to wager them to be able to keep them usually. Again, read the terms and the conditions. But, these are low risk and low payout, but they're still free and like the easiest to get really. So the next one we have is free spins on slots. Now these ones I've only seen a couple times. These aren't super popular. The only time that they're really common is if there's a new slot that the casino is trying to promote. They'll give you free spins just to try out the slot. And typically you get to keep the winnings, but this one's risk-free. It's basically a promo where you just get free spins. There's no wagering requirement to get them. They just hand them out if they do offer these. Again, they're very rare, but also you got to think the payout's usually pretty low just because slots are high volatility compared to other games. So you might not really win anything, but again, you're not risking any money. They're completely free. But these happen very, very rarely. So that's why I'm ranking them a little bit lower, but they're still really nice to get. So the next one we got here is the deposit match and the deposit bonus. Now, these are very similar, but they're a little different. So the deposit match is what we're looking at here. This is 100% casino bonus up to $10. So basically what this is saying is it's going to match you 100% up to $10. So if you can deposit $10 and they're going to give you $10 to play with. But, we got to look at a couple of things here. We got to look at all the terms, right? So we can see at the very top, there's a 10 times playthrough requirement on the deposit. So we have to play through $100 if we deposit $10. And this one is the order of funds. We're going to play with the bonus first. I don't think it says that on here specifically, but I've done this before. So that is nice. You get to play with the bonus money and not your own money. But if you don't play through it 10 times and you lose it before then you don't get to keep anything. You have to play it 10 times. And this one has a contribution rate. So you see at the bottom there. So you got to play through that 10 times, but that only counts on slots. As you can see there, it says slots, Rocket, Keno, and virtual sports. If you play blackjack, roulette, or other table games, it's only 20% contribution. So instead of playing $100 to get that $10, you'd have to play $500 to get that $10 since it's only 20%. And certain games don't even count, as you can see at the bottom there. So you got to read what you're able to play so you know what you're getting into. And then this next one's a deposit bonus. So this is what's different than a match. The deposit bonus is just a percentage or a smaller amount. It's not the full amount you're depositing. So this one specifically is just a $10 bonus on a deposit of $50. So as you can see, I put, $50 in, I get $10 in casino credits, and then I can wager that on a low volatility game, which is like a crash game at a 1.01x, and cash that out and be able to keep it. So here's another example of a casino bonus. This one's a 50% deposit match up to $15. So again, the wording's kind of tricky on that, but basically the way you got to think about this is you get a 50% match on your money up to that $15 limit. So realistically, you would want to put in $30 to get a 50% match up to that $15 limit, right? So again, you got to read everything that's going on here, but it's similar to that one we talked about before, where only slots are 100% contribution. And this one also has a 10 times playthrough, so not the best offer. I personally wouldn't go for something like this, but this is just another example of something that's out there. And then here's even a lower quality one where it's only 10% up to $10. So you'd have to deposit $100 to get $10, and then it's a 10 times playthrough requirement again. So you'd have to play your $10 10 times, which is $100. So good luck trying to play your $10 in bonuses and try to win it 10 times in a row. So here's an example of the order of funds used when wagering with a casino bonus. So every bonus will tell you how the funds are used, in what order. So this one, for example, is showing me that the customer's original deposit will be used first. So if you're putting in, let's say that $10 to get $10 matched, so you're putting in 10, you're getting 10. This one's saying, in that example, that you're gonna have to play your money first. And then any winnings that you accrue during the playthrough of your original deposit. So anything that you win on your money will be played after you lose your money. And then the actual casino bonus is used too. So you're playing the bonus funds last. You want to play the bonus funds first. Because, in this scenario, you're risking your money to be able to keep that deposit bonus. Where ideally, you'd want to deposit your money, get the deposit bonus, and then play with their money. So if you lose their money, then you didn't lose any of your money, or if you win from their money, you get to keep their money. You got to think about it that way. So for the last type of bonus, and I think this is personally the worst type, because you have to risk your own money, but we got the play and get, or the wager requirements. Now this is better for people that gamble often and aren't just playing to get these bonuses to keep, like my strategy. These are people that play very often, and this is like a nice bonus. If they already plan to spend or gamble money, they might as well opt into these to get the bonus. But it's best to use low risk or volatility games if you're going to try to go for these, because you usually have to wager a decent amount of money, but you only get a small bonus. So it's not really like the most profitable method, and you can lose your money. So you got to keep that in mind. And again, you got to watch out for the eligible games, what's allowed and what's not. You might think that you can play a low risk game, when actually you have to play high risk games. The risk to reward's pretty high with these. You usually have to wager those large amounts just to get a small bonus. So this first one here, you have to wager $25 to get 500 crowns, which are basically just credits in the casino itself. It's not like real money. I wager the $25 in a low risk game. So I'm using a crash type game at a 1.01x, which is in my eyes pretty safe, but I'm risking, $25 here just to get some crowns, which are casino credits. And then you can convert those crowns over to actual money to play with. And then that comes out to 90 cents. So I risked $25 just to get 90 cents. Not a great risk to return. But then even that 90 cents that you get, you have to gamble that to be able to keep it because it's in credits. So you have to gamble the credits to be able to convert it to cash. So you're risking $25 to get 90 cents, and then you have to risk your 90 cents again to be able to keep it. So not the best. So this is an example of another play and get. This one's basically saying that you have to wager $300 to be able to get a reward of anywhere from $3 to $100. So risking $300 just to get $3 is the way I look at it. I'm not expecting to get that $100 bonus. I'm expecting to get the lowest amount if there's something like this. You always got to expect the worst. So, if you did get the worst outcome, are you really willing to risk $300 just to get $3? Probably not. I mean, you're getting a 1% return on your money and you could lose 100% of your money. So not the best offer. I would not do that personally. I don't think that's worth it. So I would try something else. Here's another one that's kind of similar. You have to wager $100 to get $4. And as you can see, there's excluding a lot of games too. So it's only on certain games. But again, am I willing to risk $100 for $4? That's the way you got to think about it. I would not risk $100 for $4. But I did it anyways, and I risked $50 twice here to get my $4 in casino credit. And then even once you get those credits, you have to gamble them and win just to be able to keep the bonus as well. So keep that in mind. You could risk all that money just to lose the bonus at the end anyways. So here's an example of, I think, a terrible playing it. I think this is probably one of the worst offers I've ever seen personally, but I wanted to show that you guys, these are some of the offers out there. So this is something you have to watch out for and not fall into the trap. This one's saying you can earn $5 in casino credits if you wager $1,000 or more on casino games, and you can win an additional $5 in casino credits if each team scores in the women's championship game. So this was obviously a very time-specific promo about, women's championships. But at the end of the day, you have to gamble $1,000 just to get $5. That's a terrible return, in my opinion. I mean, it's pretty clear, but I'm just saying it's in my opinion, because some people might think that might be worth it. I'm going to spend $1,000 anyways. I'm going to opt into this just so I get my $5. But to me, it doesn't even seem like it's... You could probably make more money having your $1,000 in a bank account. You're looking at a risk to return. That's one of the worst offers I've ever seen. So at the end of the day, the whole purpose of this, like I said, is the profit money. So you got to be thinking of whatever I'm willing to risk. Am I getting this money risk free? Am I willing to risk however much to get the bonus? Is it all worth it, right? How much are you trying to profit? And you have some sort of plan. What are you willing to risk? What are you looking to gain out of it? There might be days where it's pretty dry. This isn't every single day these offers are around, but you do have to check daily to see if they are around. So it can be time consuming if you're checking every single day. You're not getting good offers, but you might miss something if you don't check every single day as well. So you have to check in every single day. Like I said before, I use the low risk, low volatility games. I like the crash type games where you can do the 1.01x. Those multipliers I think are the best because you have a very high chance of winning that at such a low multiplier, and that's the best way to keep your money, in my opinion. And just remember to always set rules and limits for yourself. Don't, if you lose a bonus, you risk your money, you end up winning, and then you get your bonus. Don't go past your bonus to try to chase that bonus back. If you lose the bonus, you didn't lose any of your money, so don't chase that. And then if you're going to use your money for a play and get or a wagering requirement, just keep in mind the fact that you might lose all the money you're playing with. So before you do one of those, just think, am I willing to lose this money forever to get this bonus? If you are, then go for it. But if you're not willing to lose your money, then don't play to get that bonus. And then in my opinion, the 4 best apps that I use, I've tried so many other ones, probably like 10 total, but the 4 best in order are FanDuel. FanDuel is number 1. I think they're the best. They give the best offers. They give the most offers. And they have a 1-time playthrough requirement on all their bonuses. So you don't have to gamble it like 10 times. Just 1 time. That's the best one, I think. That app is the highest recommended one I would use. Number 2 and number 3 are very similar. They might be about the same company, but we got DraftKings at number 2 and Golden Nugget at number 3. A lot of their promos are pretty much the same from what I've seen. If it's on one app, it's on the other app. So basically you're just getting 2 of the same bonus for the most part. There'll be different offers sometimes where they're not on the other app, but sometimes they have really good offers. Sometimes they have really bad offers, but they tend to have a mix of both. So I would say they also have, good offers more than not, just to have an option for some good bonuses. Number 4, I have Fanatics. It's not the best. They have the daily free spins, which is nice. And if you do play any sort of wagering or gambling on their app, you do get a little bit of cash back, which is nice too. So I'd rank that number 4. It's not the best, but I like the daily free spins on that one. Okay, so just to walk you guys through a live demonstration of how I do this and what it looks like from like an actual perspective instead of me just showing up like photos and clips, I'm going to walk you guys through what I do. So here we're on FanDuel. I'm going to go into the promos. So we're on the promotions page, and basically these are all the promotions that they're offering right now. Really, there's not a ton. I can scroll through all these, but these aren't like really deposits or bonuses or anything. They're just advertising new games. So this is the only offer I see, really, and it's a playing it. So I'd have to wager $100 just to get $5 in bonus. So that's a 5% return on your money if you're willing to risk it. I don't think that's like super worth it. I've done these in the past, but I'm going to opt out of doing this one, but it's good to check it just to see what it's all about. So now I'm on DraftKings, and I just want to show you guys a couple things on here too of some current promotions for their casino. I'm not going to click into all these, but just they will give you a very brief summary just looking at them. We have like this first one here that's wager $500 on casino games and you get $15 in bonuses. Again, I'm not willing to risk $500. I could lose $500 and then only get 15 back. So I don't think that's worth it. Here's another one down here. Play $250 on slot games to earn up to $20 in casino credits. So if we look into this, what does that really mean? Obviously, you can see what it's talking about here. So if we wager $250, we get $4 back. If we wager $500, we get $8 back. And if we wager $1,250, we get $20 back. So I think these are all like disrespectfully low for what you're gambling. So I don't think this one's worth it. I would not even try for this. I mean, if you're playing all the time and you're going to wager this anyways, yeah, opt in. But if you're just trying to get these bonuses, it's not worth it. You don't even gamble that much. I would not opt into that, or even try. I wouldn't even try to play for that. So here's another one that they have going on right now. Earn $5 in casino funds if you wager $250. Again, I don't think that's worth it. That's a pretty bad deal. So now we're on Golden Nugget, which is very similar to DraftKings, but they have this offer here that I see. If you wager $100 on slot games, you can get $1 in casino bonuses. Again, I think it's like disrespectfully low to wager $100 just to get $1 back. I'm not going to do that, but that's what they're offering. Very bad deal in my opinion. And they really have no other offers right now. So today's not a good day for any bonuses, but it took me about a minute to check all those and I don't have to do anything. So at least I checked to see what was going on, but today we're not claiming anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed me going through that. I hope you guys learned something. It's not the most profitable thing for like a side income or anything, but it's something nice just to get a little bit extra money on the side if you're willing to, just check in every day, see what's going on, see what the promos are. And you're not really willing to risk a ton of money, you can still make some money. Like I said, I won $250 in 30 days. So there's definitely some money to be made if you're willing to, take what's on the table there. It's free money being offered, but just be smart, be mindful of what you're doing. Just read into what you're doing and take the deals that seem like they're a good offer. So with all that said, I hope you guys really did enjoy. If you have any questions or any sort of advice or comments based on this, feel free to leave them down below. I'm sure I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I'm sure other people would appreciate any feedback that you guys have or suggestions as well. So yeah, thanks again. I don't promote or condone gambling at all, so I don't suggest that you try to gamble to win money, but this is just a different method that I personally use. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you learned something, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.